Live from the Export Beer Garden Studios, this is the agenda for the 16th of January 2024.
The Agenda, an alternative commentary collective podcast.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome into the agenda for a Tuesday. I suppose the first official Tuesday episode of the year. It's my least favourite day of the week, Lane, Tuesday. I hate it.
It's the middle ground, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can't quite see the weekend.
No, you can't. It's not deep enough. Wednesday, you could be forgiven for having an after work beer.
Yeah, because it's in the horizon, isn't it?
Tuesday's tough. It's a tough sell.
Yeah, Tuesday's the day where you potentially have to do your most work.
Yeah.
Because on Monday you've cleared your email, you've farted around for a while.
You've caught up from Friday, all the stuff you put off.
Yeah, and now Tuesday there's pressure on to actually do something.
And the other thing is Monday is going to suck, so you can prep for it.
Yeah.
But Tuesday it just sneaks up with its suckiness.
Yeah, it does suck. And like you're saying, Wednesday you can get away with a beer, so it's midweek.
Yeah, that's right. But you can't really justify going to the pub. If you text your missus and say, I'll be home a couple of hours late. Yeah. Because I've gone to the pub on a Tuesday?
Look, it's happened before.
Oh, certainly.
It's happened before.
I'm not going to say, this is how I know that it doesn't go down well.
Yeah.
Because I've been there and tried that. But anyway, let's get into some actual sport. We're going to start with cricket as well. We have finally had an update from Kane Williamson, and the update is he's out for the remainder of the T20s with a hammy.
Good. No, I'm not saying it's good, but it's just a hammy.
Yeah.
I'm okay with the hammy because I was thinking if it was something else, if it was a flare-up of the ACL or some other niggly injury, then I'd be like, ugh.
Well, it's the same leg as the ACL, so that screams sort of compensation injury.
You reckon?
Because, he came back really quick, and I think part of the rehab, obviously, is they either put a new ACL in there or do their best to repair it. But then part of it is also just build up all the muscle around it, and I wonder if maybe it was just a little too much. For that one, as it is.
But it's just out for the T20s,
just out for the T20s.
So, looking to come back for the Test matches against South Africa C.
That's right, and apparently he was scheduled to miss the next one, the Wednesday one, anyway.
Yeah,
for some sort of rest situation.
Yeah, they've got a whole. Got the Volkman Express coming into it. They've got a bit of a rotation policy going on.
So the replacement is Seifert. Gary Stead was saying.
Okay, it's an interesting replacement. Obviously, Conway's been taking the gloves.
Yes,
so that means Seifert comes and takes the gloves and bats 3? Or does he open and Conway goes to 3?
I would say he would open and Conway goes to 3.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That does make a lot of sense.
That's a pretty dynamic.
It's explosive.
It's an explosive 3.
Yeah, it's an explosive opening duo. But Steady was saying that he likes Finn Allen with one of Conway or Kane because it's it's two different. Because Finn Allen's just rip shit and bust from the get-go.
But so is Seifert.
So is Seifert, yeah, that's the problem. But then at least I guess they've still got Conway in there.
Yeah.
I was going to say, is Will Young's also been called into the squad?
Yep.
Not into the starting lineup. But is Ravindra still hard done by here? Or is it hard to pick him over Will Young?
Can someone just come out and say why Ravish and Ravindra is not playing? That's all I need.
Yeah.
That's all I think everyone wants is why the fuck isn't he playing?
Yeah.
Can you just tell us? Because if you say, look, we're saving him for there's no one days left in this entire summer. Okay, they're all T20s. Is he going to the T20 World Cup? I would imagine so.
Yeah.
Why aren't we giving him more T20s?
You're right. Even if they just said, look, Will Young's just had a awesome Super Smash season.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
We're going to give him a run. Thanks.
Yeah.
That's all I need.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, has he gone and laid a cable on Steady's pillow or something late at night? Has he gone out in the Raz, come back and shaved off one of Steady's hefty eyebrows?
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's got to be something going on there. But, I guess even if it was just as small as we see him more as a one-day player, we don't see him as even that wouldn't be an ample
It's something.
It's something.
Just throw us a bone.
It's like when AJs couldn't get picked again. All they needed was for them to be like, oh, yeah, he just, it was great on that pitch in Mumbai, but we just don't think he'd be able to get the same turn or be as effective. Or just something.
I know. That's all I need because, he was the breakout player of a World Cup.
Yeah.
In India.
Yes.
And then he comes home and he can't get a game. He had a couple of games one day as against Bangladesh.
Yeah.
Come on. Fuck, bro.
And also, I think we were talking about when the IPL contracts came out and his wasn't nearly as big as I think everyone thought it might get because he seems like the exact kind of player who two owners of IPL teams would get into a pissing contest over.
Yeah.
And they never did. He still made about 300 grand, so...
Well, because the thing is, if they don't come out and say it, we just make assumptions. And I'm running with the turd on the pillow.
Yeah.
Second, the eyebrow. third.
Someone's misses.
Yeah, someone's misses.
Yeah, 100%.
So that's the assumption we make. If you leave it up to us, we'll make the assumption.
Yeah.
I don't think it's any of those. To be clear, I don't think it's any of those.
I think it's just as boring as people don't see him as a T20 player.
But who? Who makes that decision?
Gary Stead, I guess.
Gaz makes that.
Yeah.
And
we all just have to go with it. I know, it's ridiculous.
But if you see him play one-day cricket,
I've seen him hit a cricket ball on a cricket pitch. Yeah, he's good.
He's good. And he goes at over 100. What else do you need? Do you need to go at over 200 in a strike rate to be a T20 player?
Because I've always had this theory of do whatever your opponent doesn't want you to do, right? And if you're Pakistan, could you imagine if we trot out Finn Allen and Ravindra as our openers? You'd be like, oh, fuck this.
It's the future.
Yeah.
Just do it now.
I
mean, not saying that Seifert's not, but no. I mean, we've got a keeper in Conway.
Yeah.
So why don't we put another specialist batsman in it?
Yeah.
Whatever. I feel like we always talk about the same thing when we bring out Ravindra. But
we do. But also, Will Young, pretty competent replacement.
Totally.
He has been lighting people up lately. Sticking on cricket, David Warner's baggy green. It's been found. You may have seen this story yesterday. Cricket Australia has confirmed the recovery of the bag, contradicting Warner's initial claim that the backpack had been removed from his luggage. The bag, including the precious baggy green, had been misplaced within the team's room at the hotel. As reported by The Age, the bag, a part of a half-coffin cricket bag, was situated not in a different room, in a different section of the same room that his other bags were in, contributing to the confusion. The bag was labelled with David Warner, but it was upside down and it had been tucked underneath, making it invisible during the extensive searches for the missing cap.
Look, sometimes I feel sorry for David Warner because we pile on him. We pile on him big time. And sometimes I think, are we a bit harsh, on David Warner? He's obviously a good cricket player. Mm-hmm. Terrible human.
Sure.
But sometimes I feel like I waver. And then he does dumb shit like this. And going on social media and blaming Qantas immediately without even probably doing due diligence on where my fucking cap should be, i.e. the fucking changing room or the luggage room.
Yes.
He piles into them. Qantas, I had some sources at Qantas who were like, what? Like, you've just thrown us under the bus, then legged it, found it, and then walked away.
Yeah. So will there be a public apology to Qantas then?
I want tears. I want an airport press conference from David Warner, and I want tears, okay? I want the family in there. I want Candice in there. I want the kids in there.
Isn't that Sonny Bill's missus?
No.
Full missus.
Sorry.
Sorry.
The whole lot. I want the full gambit. I want a full apology. I want tears, everything. So, yeah. That's why he just does stuff like this, and I think, okay, that's why we pile on him, because he's a bit of an idiot. And I can't wait till he comes out to New Zealand for the T20s.
Yes.
Is he playing in the Tests as well? No, he's not.
No,
he's retired from Tests.
Yeah.
So T20s, we've got to do something. Everyone's got to wear baggy green hats and throw them on the field, or something. We have to do something.
How quickly can we get a limited run of baggy greens?
Can we do like kind of a treasure hunt for baggy greens? Like we just hide them around the country, and you got to try and find them. But in reality, they're right in front of you.
They're exactly where they're supposed to be.
Yeah, in your bag.
I've always thought, like, when you accuse someone in your house of sitting on the remote, you need to be very, very certain that there's a high probability that they are sitting on the remote before you launch that accusation, because it starts World War III. I was accused last night of sitting on the remote, and I could see it in the corner of the lounge, and I was like, be very careful before you start throwing these allegations around.
It's very specific around your domestic issues around sitting on the remote.
Yeah.
It's obviously quite a big problem.
Yeah, well, it is. It's the accusation. It just red lines me straight away. It's like, have you done your due diligence before you...
sitting on the remote?
Yeah. You're sitting on the remote. Can you jump off it? And this is exactly what David Warner's done, is he has not done a proper... He's had a man's look, is what he's done.
Oh, totally. Yeah. But I mean...
Candice would have found it straight away.
Surely there's a missing bag. There's one in the corner that's upside down that kind of looks like mine.
Yeah.
I'll check if my name's on it.
Maybe.
How does that work? Or do they have baggage people?
I don't know, but the next time that I think that someone in my house is sitting on the remote, I'm not going to look for it. I'm going to take to social media and accuse Qantas of misplacing my remote.
Yeah, Samsung losing my remote. What? Okay.
Why do we have to name them?
What can we do? What can we do when he comes out here in the T? Like, let us know on 3236 or DM us. There's something in this. We've got I think 3 T20s against Australia following the 2 tests. David Warner will be out. I'm not looking for anything mean or nasty or derogatory, just something subtle around the fact he can't find anything.
If we could just get like 1,000 hats made up and have everyone in the crowd wearing them, and whenever he comes out, I found it, David! David, I've got it! It's over here!
Or just multiple banners on different sides of the grounds going, it's here, found your hat, found your hat, it's here, it's here. Or we get Qantas to do a flyover and just like kind of crop dust 1,000 hats out of an A380. Like full Springbok tour, but with baggy greens over Eden Park. Because there's 2 Eden Park T20s on the Friday night and the Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
So just, I'll get in touch with Qantas, see if they're up for it.
Hey, David, look, we're sorry about the mix-up. We really want to make it up to you.
Yeah.
Here's a baggy green for the every day of the rest of your life.
Just...
Yeah. I love it. Pat Cummins was approached for comment after this as well, after the sweep against Pakistan. He's deferred to Warner for the details, saying, probably not my story to tell.
That's a great line.
Which is, this dickhead didn't look for it.
Yeah.
Is what's happened here.
Do you think they're quite pleased he's out of the changing room now?
Oh, 100%. Because do you remember, was it at Lord's when him and Steve Smith were having a dust-up in the changing rooms, like on the way back to the changing rooms?
No, not a great vibe guy, I don't reckon.
Well, I mean,
you got Travis Head, great vibe guy.
Great vibe
guy. And you got him coming in the changing room, you probably just need to get rid of that guy.
Yeah, I just think, like we call him Davey Dum Dum, he might just be dangerously thick. And because when you listen to him talk, you're like, oh my God.
But he likes the black and the OLEDs though.
Oh, well, it's the blackest blacks he's ever seen.
Yeah, on the OLED, on the OLED TV. So what he likes to do when he comes back from tour is... It
doesn't even turn it on. It's like, look how black that TV is. Just... You know what it is? It's because he's looking at his own reflection. He's like, with the other ones, they weren't black enough and I couldn't see my own reflections. But now, with the OLED, I can sit there and just stare at myself.
If you don't know what we're talking about, you've got to search it up. Go on YouTube, search OLED TV ad, David Warner. It's one of the greats.
I've got an OLED TV.
Have you? Do you like, is the black real black?
Oh, the blacks are blacker than ever. When I saw him, what about, so one day, and I'm not going to name him by name, but if he listens to this podcast, he'll know who we're talking about. We were talking to a South African gentleman about this exact thing, and then he piped up and he was just like, they're too black.
Yeah.
The blacks are too black.
Yeah.
I find the blacks far too black.
It was a bit too triggering, wasn't it? It was like, you can't weigh in on this.
I'm going to steer you away from this line of questioning here, bro, because it's fine. Maybe they had Quinton de Kock lined up to do this, and they were just like, oh.
I don't know about that.
Let's get an Aussie going.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Bit of boxing news. Joseph Parker, fresh off a brilliant win against the bronze bomber Deontay Wilder. He's had his next heavyweight bout confirmed. He's going to be taking on China's Zhilei Zhang in the undercard of the March 8th fight between Anthony Joshua and former UFC heavyweight champion Francis Ngannou, who the Gypsy King fought recently. The 40-year-old Zhang, he looks like the White Orc from the Lord of the Rings. He is terrifying. There's a 26-1-1 record. He's just beaten Joe Joyce twice in a row.
Right.
Joe Joyce knocked Parker out. So it's a big, big match for Parker. But more interesting than that is it's a big, big payday because this is in Saudi Arabia.
There's some great... I mean, look, like I said, I'm a huge fan of sport washing.
So am I.
I want to get into podcast washing, okay?
Yeah.
So if anyone's out there from Saudi Arabia on the Sovereign Wealth Fund or whatever it is...
Yep, the Saudi Wealth Fund.
We're happy to do one over there. Like, I mean, we've got very little influence on any sport.
No.
But we're happy to wash anything we've got.
Great vibe, guys.
Yeah.
And let's be frank, Saudi Arabia's got a vibe issue.
Yeah, there's a bad vibe going on.
There's a bad vibe around this.
There's stonings and hangings and all that kind of. That's a bad vibe.
Yeah, they need a little bit of irreverent sporting commentary over there. I think that's my vibe. That's what I think that they're missing.
So that he terrifies me, that Chinese boxer, because you imagine you've got a few billion people. You got what option? You got that monster.
It's
there.
him. Yeah,
that monster there is the biggest killer in China.
Yeah, 1.5 billion people. Which, again, just like India, if you say that there's 1 billion people in China, you're discounting 500 million people, which would be the third biggest country in the world. And it's like when Yao Ming came out of there and everyone's like, Jesus Christ.
There is thousands of them.
Yeah, that's right. And because it's such a statistical, there has to be at least one of these guys from a country that big.
Yeah.
It's a numbers game. And this is him, and he is frightening. He's 40, but...
when is this? When's it going to be?
That is coming I've lost it. March 8th. March 8th, so not very far away at all.
Yeah, right.
It's going to be a big money day for him because Ngannou's the biggest draw in boxing at the moment, second only to the Gypsy King. Anthony Joshua's sort of up there. He's beaten Parker before, Anthony Joshua, but I just think he looks better than he is, Joshua.
Do people care about boxing anymore? As UFC's kind of... UFC has overtaken it, hasn't it, really? Let's be honest.
It has. Oh, yeah. Definitely has. But I still think that there's a bigger draw to the big fights. The average fight, no, but the bigger fights, yes. And I think what the UFC's done a good job of is their whole thing from the get-go is none of our fighters are bigger than the UFC. The UFC is what you watch.
Yeah.
You don't watch Conor McGregor. You don't watch, Israel Adesanya. You watch UFC.
Yeah.
And so that means if you tune into an undercard, you don't know who these two dudes are, but it's a UFC fight, so you're okay to watch it.
Yeah.
Whereas you watch a boxing match, you don't know who these two dudes are, you're probably not watching.
And that's true. And UFC is every couple of weeks.
It's
a
just
meeting.
about every week. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I do think that at the top level, the boxing still has a much broader appeal. It's not quite as violent.
Yeah.
There's a lot of tradition in like countries that are boxing countries, that will watch that won't watch the UFC. But that was exactly the debacle or the issue that Francis Ngannou had with the UFC because he was on this contract and then he blew up and became this massive story. Fought his way out of the salt mines in Cameroon or wherever he's from in Africa and then was homeless living on the streets of Paris or France or whatever and then eventually made it to the UFC. So he became bigger than what they were paying him and he's like, you're shortchanging me, I want all this money or I'm going to go boxing. Dana White,
i.e. Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
And Dana White said, go and try your luck at boxing. And he did, and he made billions.
Right.
So it's worked out for him. I reckon if Parker wins that one on that undercard and people see it, it wouldn't be out of the realms of thinking that Ngannou might fight him.
That would be good.
If Ngannou loses and Parker wins, wouldn't be ridiculous to think that could be the next fight coming up, which would be huge for Joseph Parker. I want to address the Volkman debacle because Cameron George has been asked to address it. If you haven't been across this one, Volkman played for the Warriors last year.
Yes.
And then he had asked for a release. He was picked up by the Dragons and then released because of a shoulder injury that he already had before he went to the Dragons. That means there's a pretty tough situation for him. He's got no contract for 2024 and he's going to be out for the season.
So he's unemployed.
And basically the Warriors chief executive, Cameron George, they were asking him, like, should you have let him go if you knew this and that and you've put him in an awkward position? And he was like, they asked for a release. I gave him a release. Then the other team signed him, announced it, and never did a medical on him.
Yeah, right.
Until after he'd already trained. So this is the timeline of the whole situation. December 12th, he has a contact injury at the Warriors training. No scans reported. December 24th, Christmas Eve, his management requests and is granted the termination of his Warriors contract. So at that point, the Warriors have just washed their hands of this guy. Jan 2nd, they give the Dragons a medical report reporting shoulder irritation. Jan 3rd, Dragons announce the signing. Volkman trains with them. And then Jan 5th, scans reveal that he had 2 screws in his shoulder. They've come out.
Oh.
Yeah. So the long and short of it is he now no longer has a job. Do the Warriors have any guilt here? Are they at fault at all?
No, if this is accurate and true, then no, they don't. Because there was no scan. They've said he's got a bit of a shoulder niggle.
He's asked for a release.
He probably should have maybe got a scan and then not asked for a release and then stayed with the Warriors and got paid next year.
I just wonder if maybe the Warriors knew about it but were just like, look, this is on you guys.
There's another part to it as well, that because of Christmas, that the Dragons didn't sign his contract properly before he trained.
That's right.
And that is a problem why this is as well. So they got him training. Allegedly it wasn't signed, and that's how they've got out of this whole fiasco as well.
Yes, because
he was never
so he
lodged.
signed the contract, but it wasn't lodged with the NRL. So there was a contract in place. They needed to send it to the NRL. They then found out that his shoulder was bunged, so they're like, we're not registering you with the NRL. So he now can't play NRL this year. And as he's injured, he's out of work. It's a real tough break for the kid, but it's a tough one. It's not really the Warriors' fault.
Is he a Kiwi, Volkman, or is he Aussie?
He's from Australia, but I wouldn't be shocked if he was of Kiwi descent. But I don't know. Should we have a whip around for for
Yeah.
Volk.
Well, maybe, start to give a little.
Yeah. Although, maybe you could do an internship with the ACC.
Yeah. What's he like at commentating?
We need one. Can't be any worse than the rest of us. One of my favourite segments that we do here on the Agenda podcast is Break Down the Breakdown.
Yep.
This is where we analyse the mainstream sports media, and they've put out a cracker. It's the round table of the New Zealand Herald journalists' most historic sporting moments and matches.
This is what they wish they were at. Is that right? I think that's like a time machine where they wish they were at this game and
That's right.
witnessing it.
Yeah, that's right. So just whipping through a few of them. Carlos Spencer flipping the bird versus the Crusaders. When Manchester United played at Auckland at Carlaw Park, 1967.
That's quite good.
Suzanne McFadden wants to see Yvette Williams break the world record in long jump back in 1954. Fun fact about this, she beat up Fanny Blankers-Cohen, one of the great names all time.
Yep.
Her nickname, Fanny Blankers-Cohen, the Flying Housewife.
That's a great nickname.
She was a long jumper in the 50s.
The Flying Housewife.
She had about 6 kids.
I love how sexist that is.
Mick Guerin wanted to be at Addington's grandstand burning down in the 60s.
God, that's sick. What's up? There's something going on with Mickey Guerin if he wants to watch?
Mick Guerin is a horse racing sicko.
I know, but he wants to watch the grandstand burn down at Cardigan Bay.
And Cardigan Bay won the race.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
The grandstand burning down at Addington. Interesting. He did justify that no one was injured and no
Right.
one died.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay, that's
we're
right.
going to clear him there. Clay Wilson wants to watch Peter Snell, the 800
fair enough.
metres. Andrew Alderson wants to watch Otago versus Canterbury, a Plunkett Shield match at Carisbrook, January 9th, 1950.
What? Come on, Andrew. Come on, Aldy.
What? Aldy wants to watch All Blacks v Springboks 1956.
Oh, that's Winston.
Yep.
Yeah.
Winston Aldworth, sorry.
Jeez.
The 61,000 strong crowd remains the biggest at a live sports event in New Zealand, apparently. Jason Pine wants to watch the qualifier for the 2010 Football World Cup against Bahrain.
He was there. He commentated it, didn't he?
Okay.
He's already done it.
Lou Kirkness wants to see McCullum's 302. Will Toogood wants to see the first Warriors game. Tim Roxburgh wants to see. And this one I found interesting. Cricket World Cup, Mark Greatbatch going hell for leather as he remembers it, but he's just checked the score and found out that he said he remembers every second ball hitting the fence and thought he had hit 200. When he checked the scoreboard, he only hit 68 off 60 balls.
Yeah, I remember that as well because I rewatched some of that footage from the 1992 World Cup, thinking because it was quite revolutionary having someone just tonk it at the start.
Yeah.
And I was the same. I thought, man, he must have been scoring 50 off 10 balls, and it was 50 off 52 balls. Like it was still relatively slow compared to now, and but I'm not surprised. Yeah.
No. Peter Melcoron, apologies if I'm mispronouncing your name. He wants to go to the Commonwealth Games in Auckland, 1990.
Yep.
Christopher Reeve wanted to see Tiger Woods play in the 2002 New Zealand Open. I didn't know he played in that.
Yeah, he did. They flew him out on a private jet. It was in Wellington. It was just out of Wellington, I think, the New Zealand Open.
Yeah. You weren't going to fly him out on Ansett, were you?
No.
Cameron McMillan wants to watch Roger Federer's only match in New Zealand. If the criteria is something that happened in New Zealand that you didn't get to go to that you wish you did, Serena playing centre court, Stanley Street.
Well, look, I mean, bless the Herald.
Yep.
They've come out with this, but we did this I think 3 years ago.
Yep.
But we had a slight twist on it,
Mm-hmm.
and basically our twist on it was that you actually appeared in the action for 10 seconds of that moment anywhere. Like so, basically, for example, McCullum scoring a 300.
Mm-hmm.
You appear at Gully and witness it live on the field in your time machine for 5 or 6 seconds, and then you disappear again. But you're nude and you're self-pleasuring. It was called the Masterbatorium Time Machine. And so all the fielders go, what was that? But you witness it. So you would be baseline Serena Williams serving nude at Stanley Street for 5 seconds and then gone. Is that right?
10, don't
10.
judge me.
Okay, 10
yeah.
seconds. Imagine the crowd. The murmur that comes
Yeah.
over when something horrible's gone. And she's served. And you're like,
It'll be the same noise as when a ball boy gets hit with a ball.
dear.
Dear.
But then as quick as you arrived, you leave, and everyone's like, and everyone,
Did you
did you see that?
Did I?
No. It doesn't ever appear on TV, by the way.
Oh, it doesn't?
No. No, we clarified that. I think we spent a whole day of a test match talking about this.
And where were you?
I was with I was on the
McCullum.
McCullum 300 in Gully and with the Indians in Gully, just absolutely going hammer and tongs on myself, and just watching McCullum just back cut it for 4. And
I remember this, and I remember someone saying that they were going to be in like whatever the square was in Berlin where Hitler's giving his most stirring rally in front of 500,000 people.
100% Lee Baker.
and then he pops up just over his right shoulder, going hammer and tongs on himself. Right.
It was supposed to be sporting moments, but I think Lee Baker took it into historical. Like, I think he wanted the one with the big in the stadium, that famous stadium one where he's perched over his shoulder.
Yeah. And because everyone would be in such a fervour that no one would say anything, and then you'd be marching out to your battle, you're 20 days on the hoof, and then you're like,
Give me with that.
hey, yeah, dude, just for like 5-10 seconds. Did you see a guy just sitting over his shoulder going for it?
You did see Lee Baker up there, full nude.
No one would want to be the first one to say that they saw it.
Yeah, maybe just before they're about to like come out of the trench, like and go to slaughter. They go, guys, I've got to get something off my chest.
I don't want to
die.
die.
Anyone see that dude on the left shoulder of Adolf during that and they were, yes, I saw him.
I saw that
guy.
I'm trying to think of any other sporting, historical sporting moments that I wish I could have been there for to witness.
I'm not sure I understand.
Oh, Siri, you don't need to worry yourself with what we are talking about here.
Siri might have an interesting take on that. Anyway, I imagine Luke Kirkness got his inspiration for this round table on historic moments. He just left out a key part, i.e.
detail.
being completely nude and self-pleasuring.
Here I was thinking we were breaking down the breakdown, but they were breaking our breakdown
Yeah,
down.
correct, but just with my way classier angle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a quick mop-up of the day's current events. Golriz Garaman, we talked about her yesterday.
Yes.
She's now facing a third shoplifting allegation.
She got some real sticky fingers.
High-end Wellington store Creative Works owner has laid a police complaint mentioning Garaman by name and included images appearing to show her in the store. I've seen the images. She's definitely in the store, but I don't know that they are conclusive that she's shoplifted anything.
So that's starting to stack up.
It is.
I mean, you're going to, like, one allegation, you could probably say it was an accident, like you walked out with that T-shirt over your shoulder out of Kmart.
Yeah.
Twice of you walking out with a Kmart with a T-shirt over your shoulder. 3 times you getting accused of walking out with a Kmart. Then I'm going to start to say you've got an issue. You're a bit of a klepto.
Unless it's someone else that just wants to get in on the act and they just have a photo of her in the store. You know what I mean? Like but you'd have to be a bit of a nut job to do that.
Yeah, you don't go to the police and waste police time just to get some free publicity.
I'd be very interested. And I kind of do wonder if that's why they haven't said anything, because they might have just been like, hey, did you shoplift this thing? She was just like, look, just wait till I get back from holiday. We'll figure this whole thing out.
How about we need some PR?
Yeah.
How about we superimpose Golriz just kind of wandering around the ACC office nicking shit. And then we put it out and say we've approached police.
Yeah,
We've got footage, and we're just real grainy footage.
Yeah. We estimate she's stolen about $13.50 worth of merchandise.
Yeah, she stole 3 steady-to-ship hats and a blow-up kiwi.
No, we need that blow-up kiwi.
Yeah, true.
And then the one last story that I wanted to talk about, and I know you've seen this one as well. I was just talking about it in the office. This is the Mayor of Thames.
Love him.
Who is refusing to apologise for signing off with an F-bomb in an email to someone who had contacted their office asking for the addresses of
all of the councillors for the Thames Coromandel.
Yeah, asked for their phone numbers and addresses, I believe. Their names and addresses. This is the email verbatim. Subject, criminal responsibility. Morena Ant or Matthew Cure or whatever name you prefer. He's obviously used a bunch of pseudonyms here. Please keep a record of my reply in case you need to refer to it for legal reasons or for future court cases. My official response as Mayor of Thames Coromandel District Council to your request for personal details of staff names and addresses is this. Go fuck yourself.
Yes.
Kind regards, Len Salt, Thames Coromandel District Mayor.
Do you know what? Len Salt, knight him right now.
Yeah.
Get the Skyhawk down there, drop the Governor General and knight him. That is one of the great responses, because this guy's he's head of some mental case society that refused to accept the laws of New Zealand and council laws of New Zealand. So they refused to pay tax, they refused to pay rates, all that shit.
Yeah.
So he's a bit of a nut job.
Clearly.
And I can imagine you just get those nut jobs so many times that you're right, fuck this. Go fuck yourself.
I'm so sick of this.
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
I'm so sick of not being able to say. How many times have you wanted to sign off with "Go fuck yourself"?
Oh, how many times do I whisper "Go fuck yourself" under my breath at work? Every time someone goes, "Yeah, go fuck yourself."
I worked with someone who, as therapy for themselves, used to write it in white text underneath, so they in their head knew that they had sent an email with "Go fuck yourself," but the person who received it hadn't seen it. That comes undone if you ever search your emails for "fuck."
Oh,
because then it's going to pop up and it'll highlight it and be like,
This is a by the by, but when I used to work in London, we did an event with the Black Eyed Peas for a client, and their band manager name was Chamon, something or other, and so we couldn't get over we'd go Chamon, Chamon, and so we go Chamon, and what we used to do, this is so childish. There was about 3 of us in the office, but every time we would email Chamon in our signature, you know how there's all the small print of this is all the legal tiny print.
Anyone else?
Yeah.
Print,
so we see how big we could put a Chamon motherfucker in that. So it got longer and longer until the whole first line of the disclaimer was Chamon motherfucker all the way across. It was one of the stupidest, funniest things I've ever been part of. And poor Chamon, he had no idea, but Chamon was a bit of an idiot.
I'm going to directly walk out of the studio and update my email signature right now to Chamon motherfucker. That'll do us for today. Thank you very much to everyone for listening. We'll be back tomorrow with a Wednesday edition just ahead of the T20, which kicks off at 1 p.m.
It's an afternooner.
Tremendous. Get that on your second screen at work. Fire it up on the radio if you're out on site. And to everyone listening today, go fuck yourself.
Chamon motherfucker.
You've been listening to the ACC's Agenda podcast. For more episodes, subscribe on iHeartradio or wherever you get your podcasts.